Have you ever felt a powerful calling, a vivid vision for your life, yet struggled to translate that inner knowing into real-world result? What if the missing piece isn't just about believing, but about bringing that divine truth into every step you take? Tonight, we're bridging the gap between your spiritual insights and your tangible reality, exploring how to make your greatest visions walk the earth. The moment has come to merge the inner and the outer, to translate the divine will you now recognize into visible, grounded action. We are no longer speaking merely of identity or assumption, or even surrender to the higher plan. We are now dealing with embodiment in motion, vision made structure, spirit made strategy, heaven made earth. This, my friend, is the realm of embodied vision. It is one thing to feel a calling. It is another to answer it with your life. Divine will whispers, inspiration stirs, vision expands. But now you must become the bridge between worlds. What lives in imagination must pass through your hands. What sings in spirit must be given a name, a form, a function. The empire cannot remain within. It must walk the earth. Embodied vision means translating frequency into form. Let us be clear. This is not about abandoning the spiritual for the practical. This is about allowing the spiritual to lead the practical. You do not drop into action and leave your center behind. No, you move from the center, and everything you build becomes an extension of your state. You are not building for validation. You are building to reveal the unseen. This means your offers, your services, your creations, your structures must carry the essence of your empire. Each part of your work is a prayer made visible. Each product, each meeting, each decision is an altar. Your calendar becomes a sacred contract. Your business plan becomes a living manuscript of faith. Embodied vision requires two energies in perfect balance: devotion and design. Devotion keeps you aligned with purpose. Design translates that purpose into strategy. Let us speak first of devotion. Without it, you become lost in the mechanical, the monotonous, the mental. The empire becomes cold, transactional. But when devotion is at the center, every email becomes a transmission. Every conversation becomes a transmission. Every dollar earned becomes a vessel of blessing. Do not confuse devotion with sentimentality. It is not passive. It is fierce. Devotion is the discipline to return again and again to your why, to stay rooted in service, even when results fluctuate. And now, design. You cannot walk forward in fog. Divine will needs a container. Vision needs a structure. Spirit needs a system. The empire must have form, or it cannot be shared. This is the part most spiritual builders avoid. They fear that structure will kill their freedom. But in truth, structure is what liberates the vision. A river without banks is a flood. A vision without design is a dream deferred. Ask yourself, how does my empire move? Who does it serve? What problems does it solve? How is the divine experienced through every touch point? Embodied vision invites you to become specific. Specific in your impact. Specific in your methods. Specific in your outcomes. Clarity is love in action. Do not fear clarity. Do not fear defining your vision. You are not limiting the divine, you are anchoring it. This is where sacred planning begins. Not just with goals and targets, but with alignment. What you plan must emerge from your truest self. When your plan is infused with integrity, it becomes magnetic. It draws to it the people, opportunities, and timing that match its frequency. So take the time to design your empire in full faith. Build the systems, map the flows, define the roles, clarify the message, align the money with the mission, make it real, and then live it. There is no separation between the visionary and the leader, between the dreamer and the executor, between the channel and the builder. You are all of it. Your empire is not a hat you wear. It is who you are, made tangible. When you host an event, that is the divine made manifest. When you coach a client, that is the empire touching lives. When you write content, film a video, build a team, launch a product, These are all expressions of your consciousness. So purify your intent. Let everything you offer be a gift from your highest knowing. But hear this, embodied vision requires accountability. You are not just responsible for what you feel. You are responsible for what you build. You are not just here to align. You are here to architect. You are not just a vessel. You are a visionary leader. And that leadership demands follow through. It demands consistency. It demands presence. You must become the embodiment of your word. Let your yes echo through every action. Because embodiment is not proven in what you say. It is seen in what you sustain. So review your life. Where is there gap between what you know and what you do? Close the gap, not with force, but with love. Bring congruence to every corner of your empire. From your finances to your relationship. From your branding to your backend. From how you treat a stranger to how you lead a team. Let all of it carry your vision. This is integrity at scale. And now, a final word on energy. Embodied vision is not just maintained through effort. It is sustained through energy management. Your frequency is the fuel of your empire. You must protect it, nourish it, regenerate it. You cannot pour divine will into the world if you are chronically depleted. So build rest into your rhythm. Build joy into your structure. Build beauty into your system. Let your empire be a reflection of wholeness, not just hustle. For in the end, embodied vision is about bringing all of you to the table. Not just the spiritual self, not just the strategic self, but the whole self. The self that dreams, the self that acts, the self that serves, the self that builds. And from this integrated presence, the empire becomes unstoppable. Not because of effort alone, but because it is rooted in truth, fueled by purpose, and built by a soul on fire. You are that soul. This is that fire, and your empire is already rising. We have reached the summit, and from here the view is vast, eternal. But even now, there is more to see, more to become. For while self-mastery roots you in the throne of your inner kingdom, the next step is to understand the divine will that pulses through you. You are not merely here to rule your world. You are here to align with the greater will of life itself. You are not just a creator, you are a conduit of divine expression. Let us now speak of purpose. Not purpose as society defines it. Some career, some title, some lofty mission. No, the true purpose of your empire is to reflect the divine in form. To allow the invisible to become visible through your vision, your gifts, your being. To become the hands, the voice, the breath of God in action. This is the sacred call of empire. Not domination, but demonstration. Not power over, but power through. You are not forcing the world to conform. You are allowing divine will to flow through you as you. To build an empire aligned with divine will, you must first relinquish the illusion of separation. You and life are not two. You and God are not distant. The same intelligence that orchestrates the stars beats your heart, moves your lungs, guides your intuition. This means you do not need to struggle to find your path. You need only to listen. The whispers of divine will are always present in your desires, your longings, your visions. These are not idle fantasies. They are invitations. When you feel a call within to create, to serve, to build, to express, do not question it. That call is divine will clothed in your unique frequency. Your vision is not random. It is encoded with intelligence far beyond your conscious mind. So, how do you align your empire with divine will? First, through surrender. Not passive resignation, but active receptivity. You say, I am willing to be used. I am willing to be guided. I release the need to control every detail, and instead, follow the thread of inspiration. Divine will is revealed moment by moment. It is not a static plan. It is a living current. You must become attuned to it. Through silence, through stillness, through practice. Create time each day not to think, but to listen. Not to plan, but to perceive. Ask, what would you have me know? What would you have me do? Who would you have me become? And then trust the answer that arises. It may not come in words. It may come in a knowing, a pull, a sudden idea or opportunity. Follow it, act on it. This is the way of divine strategy. Understand this. Divine will never lead you to harm, to diminish, to manipulate, or to betray yourself. It may stretch you, yes. It may challenge you, break you open, call you to release what is not real. But it will always bring you into greater wholeness. To align your empire with divine will, you must purify your motive. Ask yourself, why do I seek to build? Is it to be seen, to be safe, to prove my worth, or is it to express what is true, to share what is real, to serve what is eternal? There is no judgment in the answer, only awareness. For where your motive is pure, your power is absolute. When you create from ego, you may achieve. But when you create from spirit, you transform. Let us now speak of intuition, the language of divine will. You are never without guidance. You are never truly confused. Confusion is simply the noise of the mind, drowning out the clarity of the soul. When you quiet that noise, when you become still enough to hear, the next step is always clear. Practice this daily. Ask, receive, respond. This is the trinity of divine co-creation. Ask for guidance. Receive without resistance. Respond with trust. You may find that divine will lead you in unexpected directions. You imagined one empire, but life has another in store. Be willing to be surprised. Be willing to release the small for the great. Sometimes what you thought was the destination was only the doorway. Now understand, divine will is not about doing more. It is about being more. You are not asked to exhaust yourself in effort. You are asked to become a vessel. The most powerful empires are built not by force, but by flow. The river does not push, it allows. This does not mean you wait passively. It means you act from alignment. When you are inspired, move. When you are tired, rest. When you are unsure, pause. Let your rhythm be led by your inner knowing, not the urgency of the world. This is the mark of a true sovereign. They follow inner law over external pressure. They build what is timeless, not just what is trendy. They serve truth, not trend. And so, let your empire be a sanctuary. Let it be a space where divine will becomes real. Let your business, your art, your service, your leadership be infused with grace, with truth, with love. Those who come into your empire should leave chained, not just impressed, but uplifted, not just served, but seen. This is the new model of power, the power to bless. Do not fear the weight of this responsibility. You are not alone. Divine will never abandon its expression. You are supported by the same force that called you. When you act from alignment, doors open, support appears, miracles unfold. Remember this, your vision is not yours alone. It is entrusted to you by the source that knows its time has come. So do not hesitate, do not shrink, do not delay. Trust that what moves you moves through you. Trust that you are equipped for what you are called to birth. You are not just building an empire. You are revealing the divine through form. You are showing the world what is possible when one human soul says yes. Yes to truth. Yes to love. Yes to the call. This is divine will. This is sacred empire. This is your next becoming. Now we enter the inner sanctum of empire, the chamber of self-mastery. For it is here, and here alone, where all external power begins. The previous teachings have shown you how to assume the end, how to embody your fulfilled self. But now, you must become the guardian of that self, the unwavering sentinel who holds the line of belief when the world tests your resolve. Let us speak now of emotional sovereignty. This is the power to command your inner world with such clarity that no circumstance can dethrone your state. The master does not react, the master responds. The master does not panic. The master perceives. The master does not retreat. The master realigns. This is not stoicism. This is sacred authority. When fear rises, you do not deny it, but you do not kneel to it either. You observe, you acknowledge, and then you return to your throne, to your truth, to the vision already fulfilled. The empire you are building is not held together by resources or systems or even effort. It is held by your state, and your state is stabilized by your inner dialogue, your daily rituals, your moment-to-moment choices. Let us take this even deeper. Self-mastery is not perfection. It is present. It is the ability to remain rooted in identity, even when the winds of doubt try to uproot you. It is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to let fear speak louder than vision. So what does this look like in practice? When adversity strikes, you do not say, "Why is this happening to me?" You say, "What part of me has called this forth, and how shall I grow through it?" When delays appear, you do not abandon the dream. You say, "Time is my servant, not my master." What is unfolding for is to outgrow it. Self-mastery requires that you become conscious of every agreement you've made, every belief you've inherited, every pattern you've repeated without question. Ask yourself, who told me what is possible? Who gave me this ceiling? Who wrote this script? Then choose again. You are not bound by what was. You are bound only by what you continue to affirm. Let me give you this. When you rise in the morning, do not check the world. Check your state. Before you read the news, before you open your phone, before you ask what the world expects of you, ask instead, "Who am I today?" and answer from the throne. Repeat this hourly if needed. Throughout your day, let your actions become expressions of this self. You are not doing in order to become, you are doing as one who already is. This is true self-mastery, when your behavior is no longer reactive, but expressive of identity. And yes, this takes practice. Yes, you will stumble. But remember, mastery is not achieved in moments of ease. It is forged in the moments when you return, again and again, to the truth you have chosen. You are not your mood. You are not your mistake. You are not your circumstance. You are the consciousness that observes all and chooses anew. So when you falter, do not condemn yourself. Smile, realign, declare, "Even this serves my empire. Even this is being woven into my reign." The world will tempt you to forget, but you must become unshakable in remembrance. For the greatest gift of self-mastery is not just that you build an empire. It is that you become one, a living, breathing testament to what is possible when the divine within is enthroned. Walk now as the one who remembers. Rule now as the one who has returned. You are the master. You are the empire. You are the I am made manifest. Now, my dear friends, we come to the deepest truth of all. You are not here to become something greater. You are here to remember who you already are. The empire you seek is not a distant construct waiting to be earned. It is the natural extension of your divine identity. You are not building in order to be. You are building because you already are. Let this be clearly understood. What you consistently assume to be true of yourself becomes the pattern your world must reflect. The throne is not given to those who wait, plead, or beg. It aims by those who remember their rightful place. This is not metaphor. This is metaphysical law. All manifestation begins in the silence of identity. You do not manifest your empire by asking for it. You manifest it by embodying the one for whom it is already real. And what does this embodiment look like? It is not a performance. It is not pretense. It is not about dressing up the outside while inside you remain a beggar for change. Embodiment is congruence. It is a fusion of belief, behavior, and being. To embody your fulfilled state means you act, not with effort, but with ease. Not with force, but with faith. It means that every movement, every decision, every silence even, is charged with the knowing, I am already that which I desire to be. Let us move deeper into this idea of alignment, for here lies the golden key. When your thoughts say one thing, your emotions another, and your actions yet another, the universe receives a distorted signal. Confusion begets delay. But when your thoughts, feelings, and actions are unified under the dominion of your assumed identity, manifestation becomes inevitable. So, what is your task? It is this: to bring your inner world into divine alignment. Speak only as the fulfilled self would speak. Walk only where the fulfilled self would walk. React only as the fulfilled self would respond. When contradiction arises, correct it gently and immediately. Say to yourself, "That is no longer my truth. I do not think or feel from lack, for I know I am fulfilled." You will find at first that this requires attentiveness. The old self will try to whisper, to tempt, to return. But do not resist it with struggle. Transcend it with embodiment. Let me illustrate with clarity. A true ruler does not argue for their throne. They sit upon it. They do not demand others recognize their rule. They rule. Recognition follows. This is the energy you must carry into every situation. Not arrogance, but absolute inner authority. Not domination of others, but dominion over your own state. Now understand this. Embodiment does not mean you will never face challenge. But it does mean you will no longer be moved by it. You will respond as the fulfilled self would respond. If your empire already existed, would you panic when a delay appears? Would you doubt when someone questions your path? Would you crumble under temporary appearances? Of course not. The emperor who doubts their kingdom the moment a storm arises was never an emperor to be. The true sovereigns stand still, centered, serene. They know the storm will pass, but the throne remains. And what happens when you truly live this way? The world begins to shift. Circumstances reorganize. People treat you differently. Opportunities arise with uncanny timing. Why? Because your internal assumption has become so dominant, so complete, that the external must conform. You become a center of gravity, a point of magnetic pull. Not because you are striving, but because you are radiating the energy of certainty. And this, my friends, is how the empire is sustained. Not through constant effort, but through constant embodiment. You may ask, how do I maintain this state when the old world still surrounds me? The answer is devotion. This is not about discipline in the traditional sense. It is about devotion to the truth of who you are. Each morning you rise and recommit. Today I am living as the one who has already received. Throughout the day you return to this identity, especially in moments of stress or temptation. You do not ask, "What should I do?" You ask, "What would my fulfilled self do?" And each evening you review your day not in judgment but in refinement. You revise what needs realignment. You bless what was well lived. And you fall asleep once again in the felt state of the wish fulfilled. This is the daily rhythm of the emperor. This is the breath of empire. Understand that embodiment is not static. It is alive. It evolves. As your empire grows, so must your consciousness. As your world expands, so must your identity. You are not maintaining a fixed image. You are nurturing a living kingdom. You are listening each day for the whispers of your higher self, guiding you to the next expression of who you truly are. And when you begin to live this way, not just visualize, but live, you will understand the sacred paradox. You do not manifest your empire to become powerful. You manifest it because you already are. You do not build to prove. You build to express. You do not strive to achieve. You embody to reveal. There is nothing to chase. There is only something to claim. So claim it, not with grasping hands, but with a quiet heart, with a steady gaze, with a voice that speaks truth without doubt. This is the art of conscious creation. This is the grace of sovereign living. Your empire does not come when you deserve it. It comes when you embody it. So go forth now, not as one who hopes, but as one who reigns. Not as one who waits, but as one who walks. Not as one who tries, but as one who is. And as you move from this place of embodied truth, the world will rearrange itself around you, not because it must, but because it cannot do otherwise. For the throne has been claimed, and the emperor has come home.